Good morning, good morning, good morning, Sagittarius. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are watching this from and whatever time frame. My name is Patty, and I'm here as an empath to do your intuitive tarot, as well as astrology and numerology. Now, you're going to find mine different because mine is divine driven and divine guided, meaning that this is supposed to help you with your challenges, your struggles, your questions, maybe some love. But the thing is that it is divine driven, meaning I'm very intuitive and I have audio. I listen to what the wisdom comes from the other side, mainly divine. And sometimes he sends other ancestors and people through. So this is for you. The first oracle I'm going to pull out is definitely the Divine's card. Now, this is for the week of the 31st, what month are we in? May 31st through the 6th of June. So this is really important to pay attention to because we are in 3 retrogrades, which means Saturn, Mercury, and Pluto are in a retrograde. So there's some conflict. So we want to pay attention to that conflict so we know where to resolve our problems and our issues, as well as to maybe know what the other person might be thinking, because a lot of you guys want to learn about love. So I'm going to pull 3 oracles for the beginning. I'm going to be doing a horseshoe spread. Can't talk. Then I'm going to pull a couple oracles and get clarification on love. For some of you, love isn't always in Divine's interest for the week. A lot of the times it has to do with self-work. So this has to do with looking at self and making sure that self is, your inner self is being worked on. So some love is there and some love isn't, but I will pull some cards at the end for love and relationships. All right, so let's get started. So I have my first oracle out. This is Divine's, of course. He popped that one out real quick. And definitely, this is what's going on with the planets. Also, this has to do a lot with knowledge and healing. So knowledge and healing is mostly Saturn, Mercury, well, Pluto too. However, this is about the number 5 as well. Okay. So the 5 in numerology is sort of like something is either new and unstable, you're just not quite understanding it, or you're misunderstanding it and you need to learn a little bit more about it, or it is about something that is just unstable. It's not working. So the Divine is saying with knowledge and healing to really start to begin to pay attention to what you need, either in wisdom. Now, knowledge to me is more earth-based. This is more from your head. This is more what I feel and I think and my emotions kind of a thing. That to me is secondary compared to wisdom, which is it's the second dimension. It's the unseen. It's where the Divine lives. That has to do with more old wisdom of knowing if this is something I should do or not do. Okay. This is more of an internal. This is more of our intuition, more of our, that little voice in our head saying, no, you really shouldn't do that. And you do it anyway, kind of a thing. That is the second dimension that is wisdom, guys. That is the absolute truth. So if we want to buck the absolute truth, then that is going to be something that is going to be a struggle for you and probably doesn't work, because you'll find that if you give into it, it actually is the best way to go. But it's hard because it's a new thing. It's number 5. It's not a common thing for a lot of people. They're more into their feelings, their emotions, and that's what controls them. That's worldly. Okay, so then our current energy here is the Wind Fairy, which is about your thoughts, your words, your intellectual analysis. And that's the number 11, which becomes the number 2 in numerology. And that is about bringing something together or 2 people together, or it's going to break them apart. And it's basically based on the mind thought process and how you process. Okay, so the Wind Fairy in this, again, this is how we think. This is how we feel. I have so many videos on that on Get Balance 2020 on our mindset and our thought process of how we need to transform it to a more second dimensional wisdom rather than knowledge. And that will get you a lot further in peace and less roller coaster ride type of journey. But this has got to be with your healing. So your thoughts, your words, and your intellectual analysis Most of you, it's wrong. It's a lie. It's not true, because a lot of you have self-esteem. I'm not saying a lot of you, okay? Let me say, put it this way. If you have self-esteem issues, or low value, or low self-worth, or you just don't feel you're pretty, you feel you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough, you're not tall enough, you're not short enough, whatever that is, whatever your insecurity is, that is a mindset. That is a worldly lie to you. Whereas divine doesn't make mistakes. Divine doesn't make anything that is of not perfect nature. It's we alter it as human beings. So again, this has to do with bringing it together, or you're going to break it apart. So if it hasn't been working for you, and if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of going through the stuff that you go through, this is the process that you need to be listening to this week. Is it a risk? Yes. This is your future card. This is the future energies. This is a risk. It is the number 4 because it is going to bring you stability. The thing with future is it's not here yet. We don't even know. It's like, well, if I do that, I'm going to get hurt. You don't know that. If I do this, it might not turn out. You don't know that. This is the whole thing about risk, is you don't know. You've already figured it in your head how it's going to go. You've already limited the process. Again, this is how we need to transform and change our mind. I don't pick these cards. Divine does, okay? So this is the process for today for Sagittarians. I have a feeling somebody is sick and tired of being sick and tired of going through the same old crap over and over and over again. So let's find out what the cards are going to say about this, all right? So also too, as you guys have heard me say many, many times before, what you think and then you speak, you bring it to life. Okay, so when you do that, that becomes it can become an issue, because if you think it and speak it and you bring it to life, you begin to believe it. And it doesn't mean that it's going to really be true, because it's not absolute truth. If it's absolute truth, it's in love. So you have to, when you speak it, and you have to think to yourself, is that in love? This is the analytical part of what you're talking about and what you're saying. Okay, so that's the analytical part. That's the intelligent analysis. Okay, is what I'm saying true? If it's not, why am I saying it? This is where we have to choose our words wisely. This is where we talk about, be careful what you say, because especially I tell my daughter, don't ever use the word never, because then the divine will show you who you are wrong, because he will make it happen. And I'm witness to that. How many of you guys are witness to that? You ever say never you're going to do something, and then that happens, or you end up doing it? All right. So that's sort of what I'm talking about. We'd be really careful. Somebody's got some real major healing going on. And that is something we all have to go through. Everybody goes through healing. Everybody's broken in some aspect or another, and it's if you want to heal that part of you, or if you don't want to heal that part of you. Okay. And the thing is, if you don't heal your part of you, then be content where you are, because that's where you're going to stay. Okay. This is something that you have to learn how to change so that you can manifest a new beginning. So we have the Magician as the first card, and then we have an Ace. We have 2 new beginnings, guys. And this is where the healing process comes in. Whoop. Okay. In order to have healing and new things come in, we have to process and get rid of the old. I feel like a broken record half the time, because it's the same thing almost over and over. But these are 2 number 1s. That means a fresh new beginning. That means a new energy. It is your choice to project and manifest that energy. What energy are you manifesting? What energy are you manifesting this week? Because this has to do with the door that you're going to go through. I don't know what that is, but that door will close if you don't manifest a new, positive, more higher vibrational energy, lifting yourself up, talking yourself in a positive way through it. This is definitely a talking process for yourself. I'm about ready to take my glasses off, because this light is, I know that donut is you can see the donut. I hate these lights sometimes. But the thing is that this is something you're manifesting through your communication. So your communication is your spirit talking to your mind being your feelings, your emotions and everything like that, worldly, and then speaking it or doing it or acting on it. Now that has to start with spirit. This is a new process, definitely for somebody. It is the number 5. It is brand new energy. It is scary and nervous to someone. And someone who is sick and tired of being sick and tired, this is what you probably need to do. Okay. There's lots of ways of doing it, but the best way to do it is just start lifting yourself up, kicking yourself in the pants, and keep pushing yourself through what you don't want to do. Because that's low vibration, keeping you there. You don't really want to do that. You're too lazy today. You're too tired today. No, if you're really tired, get up and get going, get and move. You know, if you've been sitting around and moping and doing stuff, because I see somebody moping, again, this needs to process through. Again, this is about your healing and about, I don't want to say knowledge. This is about wisdom, getting wisdom, the divine's wisdom. Should I do this? And feel him. Ask him, should I be doing this? Get some confirmation. Ask him, should I be doing this? Because you know what? You're right in the middle of this mess of something. And we'll find out if it's love here in a minute. But the thing is, whatever you're in the middle of, you have to take ownership of it and say, you know what? Yeah, I did screw up. I did make mistakes. I did happen, or they did. Now you have to really, again, we've got the Virgo energy of the Hermit saying, I need to really look at this. I need to really pay attention to this. This is the current energies. I really need to look at this and say, you know, is it that big of a thing? Or if it is that big of a thing, how am I going to change it? Because it's not staying, unless you like it staying the same, it's not going to change. So this is the time to analyze. The Hermit is overlooking and analyzing everything and looking and paying attention. And if you notice, he's got a staff in his hand. A staff in any kind of spiritual realm is a tool to communicate with the unseen realm, which would be divine. You find that in the Bible. You find it all over. And it's the staff. The staff is the communication between divine and you. Okay. Even the magician has a staff. He's holding up. Okay. Always holding on to a staff. The wands are all about communication also. And they're also about, what you need for your soul is what I'm basically trying to think. And it's the number 9, so it's very intense. And again, we have the number 11, number 2, the Hierophant in numerology. Okay, so you've got things, you're bringing things together or you're breaking them apart. Now, if you get through this process of healing, or if you say, yes, you know, I'm going to go through that door. I'm going to be scared shitless, but I'm going to go through that door because I know there's something good over there for me. And I know that this is what I feel that divine is wanting me to do. Get confirmation from divine. Say, you know what, is this really what you want me to do? And wait for that confirmation. And if he says yes, or if it feels like the vibrations are high that you should be doing it, then go through that door, whatever it is, and take the offer, because it may be very, very good for you. You know, fear is holding somebody back, definitely holding somebody back, because you've got the sun energy next. And 22 is the number 4. Take the risk because you don't know. Take door number 1. Take door number 1. Or should I take door number 2? But take the door, because the sun is all about, again, being the number, let's see, 22 is 4, about stability. It is about growing your journey to where it's supposed to be. Okay. And it does take risk. I know that, you know, I've got a girlfriend that complains all the time that she needs it to change. She's stressed out. She's tired. Now she's making herself actually physically sick and ill and with a lot of problems physically, because she's not changing. Again, this is where this thought process is. This is where And this is what I teach in Get Balanced 2020, transforming your mind to bring it to that level of a higher vibration so that you can change, you can take risk once in a while, knowing it's a good risk. And that's what I teach. How do you know if it's a good risk or not a good risk? How can you tell? And those kind of things. But you have to analyze some of this stuff, and you guys got it in you. You can know, oh yeah, that feels right. Nah, that doesn't feel right. No, intuition tells you, maybe a little voice tells you, but some of you guys fight that. Okay. And this is definitely where that's headed. Is somebody's going to fight the new changes. Somebody is going to fight this new challenge. And this is for your potential and ambition. Okay, this is for you. This is for who you're made to be. So if you're holding back on something, it's because you haven't healed and you're in fear. So if you held back on something, then you need to pull from where that fear is coming from. Okay, because that fear is wisdom. That where you're going to pull your core foundation from is wisdom. Like the serpent, like I have mentioned a lot of times with the serpent, and I apologize if you've heard this before, but the serpent, if you look at the serpent, he doesn't grow and just keeps growing. He sheds an old skin. He takes that old skin and slithers out of it, and that old skin stays behind. He doesn't take that fear with him. He doesn't take that extra skin with him. What good is it going to do him? It's done. It did its purpose. It's done. The lesson was learned that he had to grow in that skin, whatever he learned in that skin. Now it's time to move on and leave that old skin behind. That is wisdom. When you can leave that old past issue or whatever you're sick and tired of being sick and tired in, when you can leave that old issue behind and move forward, then you're able to grow a new skin, okay? A tougher skin, a more loving skin, a more masculine skin, a more feminine skin, more whatever it is. And I say those two because in masculine, there's things that we do with the testosterone. In feminine, there's estrogen and what we do with estrogen, nurturing, caring, loving kind of things. Testosterone is more of a hunter type mentality, protective mentality, that kind of a thing. So this is something that you really do because this is for your future. You have to acknowledge this risk or whatever it is in the future. Now, this is going to be for about June and July. I was going to say this energy is going to be about June and July, but this is about your future. This is what you're thinking about your future. However, your future is out there. So don't really put that in the forefront, okay? Don't put that in the forefront, okay? Because when you do that, then you're not allowing now to happen. Are these upside down? Yes. So definitely have to think about this. And it's going to take a minute. So for somebody, you really need to just stop what you're doing. I even shared this with my daughter. You need to stop what you're doing. Even if you have to, lose your job for a minute. And take a second and take a break. Let your mind clear because you cannot make decisions, and that's why you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, is that you're not making decisions clearly because you didn't get enough knowledge or information or wisdom to make a wise choice. And yes, it is a risk. And it is about and right now it is about the intelligent process of analysis. All right. So somebody definitely needs to stop for a moment and take a break. And I know that a lot of people can't quit their jobs and things like that. However, if you just stop for a minute when you go home, just don't do anything, say, well, I got to go do this. No, take an hour of yourself and give yourself personal time so that you can breathe, so that you can meditate, so that you can pray and say, you know what is it you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? How do you want me to do that? So then in a quiet place, you can start listening because somebody's just spinning their wheels. And this pattern is going to keep happening over and over and over. And I don't know if this is with a relationship. We'll find out in a minute. If this is just in your everyday life, and you're spinning your wheels because it's like your words are, for somebody, your words are messing things up because of your thought process. It means that the words aren't coming out the way that you want them to. Your thoughts and feelings aren't coming out the way that you want them to. And if you get an understanding of how to articulate yourself better, then you'll be able to be better understood. And the process will go a lot easier. And you won't be afraid to take risks because you'll become, there's somebody that needs more confidence, definitely needs more confidence. Are these upside down again? Did I do that again? Holy Toledo. Okay. All right. Yeah, we've got the Three of Wands again. More clarity on that. This definitely is for your future. This is something that needs to be really thought of and thought of now, because there's no time to waste. So this is something, so if you're having a same pattern, I don't know who this is for, but somebody's going through the same things over and over and over again. It's broken. It's like the wheel is broken and it keeps thumping, thumping, thumping. If you ever had a flat tire and you didn't really notice it until all of a sudden it started thumping and thumping and thumping and thumping, okay, that thumping is going to keep going until you fix the tire. That's what's happening right now. In the future, it's not going to change. And yes, you've been hurt. Yes, something has happened in you, but it is done. It's over. This is a past thing. This is something that is done. It's over. It's time to move on. So somebody hasn't moved on, and this is just sort of a place where you're sort of stuck. Okay. So I'm going to do love for you guys right now. Love and relationships. I'm going to pick 2 different oracles and see what they have to say with this. I have a new oracle deck. I love it. And it's stiff. Definitely is stiff. Okay. So we have the number 7 again. 7 is showing up everywhere in everybody's readings this week. 7 is just a crazy number. So we have the Horse King, and the Horse King is about assistance and control. So there's a choice of how you handle somebody. Now remember, this is in love and relationships. You have a choice in how you handle a relationship or someone. Okay, this relationship, you can either help and grow somebody, or you can actually try to control the whole thing and manifest whatever it is that you want. So for somebody, they're trying to really help and assist and just be there and be supportive and growing and loving and be that partner to help each other grow in their potentials. Okay, there's definitely that there, but there is somebody just trying to control the whole situation. Definitely. Okay, so somebody's trying to control the whole situation, and it's not allowing that other person to grow. That is not allowing that person to grow to their potential, because when somebody tries, now whether it's you being controlled or you trying to control somebody else, a lot of the times we may be even in denial. Am I really trying to control everything? And sometimes I don't even know I'm controlling it until somebody tells me, and I have to recognize it. So that has to be something that maybe somebody has to share with you. You know, you might ask them, hey, do you think I'm really a control freak, or do you think I'm really trying to control the situation? And you need to ask them, I need you to be honest, because people won't be honest unless you ask them to be. Just say, I need you to be honest so that I can grow in this area, or find out where I am weak in this area. I do this with a lot of people. They say, well, you really don't want to hear the truth. No, I honestly do, because if I don't know, then I need to grow in that area. I need to analyze what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, when I'm doing it, and everything. So this is, again, that hermit energy. All right. So if somebody is just helping and assisting and growing each other and helping each other and lifting each other up, this is a beautiful thing. If you're not and you're trying to control it, we have the moon in Aries, and this is the time to take action. Okay. So this is a time to actually not sit there and think so much about it. Just ask somebody. Or ask your partner, hey, do you think I really try to control everything? And you will know by the look on their face, by their body language, if they're telling you the truth or not, because there will be some hesitation on how they want to say it or what they're going to say. But you need to let that partner know, hey, I just need to know. Honestly, I need to know so that I can better myself in our relationship, because it's not about the other person. This is about you. Okay, so it is time to take action. Again, this is a time to take that risk outside of fear in your love relationships. All right? Take that risk outside your love and relationships. And the way that you know that you're making progress and healing is that if you're really bothered by, say, an ex or something like that, and say you really want to think about them all the time, or they're on your mind all the time. Why did they do this? Why did they do that? Why did they leave me? Why? When you know when you're healed completely, when that old skin has shed off of that person, and you know it no longer bothers you. I want you to write that down. You know you're healed when that situation or person, that snake skin has gone away, that old has gone away, and it no longer bothers you. Until then, you're not healed. Another thing, too, is when you are healed with this person or whoever it is that you're holding on to or not letting go, is that's an old skin that needs to stay behind. You cannot move on with this all new, fresh energy by holding on to that past lover, past relationship, somebody who doesn't want you, that you keep pursuing, that they're showing no interest in you, and you're devaluing yourself by chasing after them. All right? So don't chase after them, because that's somebody trying to control the situation. It's trying to control it. All right? So definitely don't do that. Sorry about that, guys. But that is your love, and that's your relationship. All right? This is your readings. I was going to say Scorpio, but it's Sagittarius. My mind went because of the phone. But remember, this is when you're sick and tired. This is a time if you're sick and tired, it is time to act now. Start working on yourself now. Start thinking about what you're saying and how it's coming out, what you're thinking and how your body is reacting to that. It is time to bring those low vibrational energies up. It is time to stop the nonsense of what you're hanging on to the past. It's time to let go of the old skin. This is the time to now do it. This is your energies right now. There's a lot of 9s in here. There's a lot of 1s in here. The choice is going to be yours. You can either stay in the past and stay in the same and what's going on with you right now, or you can let it go and let it happen and keep thinking to your future in a more positive state. All right? All right, guys. Love you guys so very much. Don't forget about the dailies, Monday through Friday. They're 1 minute long. And these are, I do pray for, before I pull these cards, I ask Divine to pick them. This is inspiration for you guys or a message for you for that day. I don't know what he's going to pick, but I do know that if you don't subscribe and hit the bell, you won't know when they're on. So please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And then don't forget to like and share. Please bring a friend. I can't believe, guys, next month of July, I've been on here a year. It doesn't seem like that long. So in July, I'll be talking about my 1-year anniversary a lot. I can't believe it. Anyway, I've really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I send lots of love to you guys, and don't forget to walk in absolute love and absolute truth. Take care.